Well, good afternoon everyone, welcome along to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow as it is the final of the EuroHockey Championship 2. It is Wales against Scotland, both promoted, both now playing for the trophy. It's been a busy day so far. France beat Russia in a thrilling third place playoff, the bronze medal for them, a 5-4 win. And Switzerland and Portugal will be in the third tier in 2019 with Ukraine winning. Portugal won as well, but it is Ukraine and Czech Republic who are safe. Let's look at both sides then for this final. For Wales, first of all, well, they had the 4-3 game against France, had to survive a late comeback, but job was done. And looking at one or two key players, Shipley scored in the game. First goal, a tall, strong player, number 9. James Carson's their top goal scorer with 5. Gareth Furlong is the man at penalty corners, and he will be the real threat. David Kettle, the goalkeeper. For Scotland, Alan Forsyth is there, penalty corner master. He is the competition top goal scorer with 7 goals. It's been a great time for Chris Grassick, captain on his side. Kenny Bain were looking to add another vital goal like he did in their heart-stopping 4-3 win against Russia. They're 4-0 up Scotland in that game. We know Duncan Riddle, who is listed there but has broken his elbow, so will not be involved. And there is the officials, Maxim Perepletsiaya from Ukraine and Xavier Fenart of France. And the French umpire was officiating the Scotland-Wales game in the third place playoff at the World League 2, which Scotland won, which helped them to World League semi-final. And they've met quite a lot, these two sides, in the recent months, in the last year or so, from World League and the like. Well, it's great to have your company, especially those watching on the BBC Sport website, and alongside myself, Callum Patterson, is Graham Dunlop, ex-Scotland and GB player, played at Athens. Graham, great to be here. This is the big one. First of all, a tremendous story, Wales particularly, with their rank and how they've came up from the third tier. For Scotland as well, first time since 2005, both promoted. What have we got in store here?
Well, I think one thing's for sure today, this is not going to be a dull game. Traditionally, Scotland-Wales matches are always quite lively, physical, fast, maybe not one for the hockey purist, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of entertainment out here. Last time they played was back in Belfast in the World League final, World League 2. Scotland prevailed 4-0. Somewhat a surprise scoreline maybe. No one really expects a Scotland-Wales match to be as one-sided as that, and they're normally very close. So it's going to be a good game for the neutral to watch. There'll be lots of action, lots of entertainment, so let's get it going.
Wales really defied logic in the world rankings. 32nd, they were 36 in September last year. Got a good run at World League 1 where they defeated Scotland to win that World League 1 stage. And then they got to World League 2, caused problems again, beat Scotland in a bonus point win in the group phase in a shootout. As I say, lost the decisive last spot available for the semi-final to Scotland convincingly. But maybe a little, well, significantly better than the world rankings suggest. I'm sure they'll head up a bit now that they've reached the top tier for 2019. Scotland 23rd, they were 28th last year. They've had a great year themselves, reaching the semi-finals, which was a remarkable story as well. Great parade out with the bagpipes, and now I'm sure full hall of heart, plenty in the crowd here. I'm going to be singing some Welsh in there too. But before the anthems, a little moment here for Carrie Fraser, 50th cap, scored in that game yesterday, the semi-final against the Russian side that came back towards the end and put the real frighteners on from a very comfortable position. A good moment for Fraser. Now it's the anthems. First of all, it's Wales.
As Ron Muir from the Batlock and Strathspey Pipe Band plays the Scottish anthem.
Massive roar from the crowd. It is packed in the stand. Ticket sales have steadily grown all week, particularly for today. The big job was done yesterday for both sides, but we're kind of talking off there. There is ranking points to play for, the prestige of the trophy as well, and just a little marker. But at least some of the pressure is off in some regard.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams have come into this tournament with the sole aim of gaining promotion back up to the A division. And they're both teams here now in this game, they've achieved that. So today is an extra, it's a bonus. And you can rest assured though that both teams are out here to win. They're not going to want to lose this game. They'll be out here gunning from the word go. And you know, if whoever's team ends up losing, because one of them has to, they'll be gutted. So it's going to be a good game. You were saying earlier on about Wales and the world ranking of 32. It's quite a false position. They're a far better team than that. They're quite a young team. They're coming together. Zach Jones, the coach, knows what he's doing. He's got them well drilled. And what you'll see from the Welsh this afternoon will be a team that they'll be running all day. They'll close people down. They'll be hard. They'll be physical. And they'll make life an absolute nightmare for the Scottish team. It's going to be a hard game, this. So the Scots have got to be up for it. They've got to be focused. If they're not switched on, then the Welsh will take they'll capitalise on any of the mistakes that were made, and it's a good game. It'll be good to watch.
Well, a little under a year ago when these two sides played, so broadly similar teams, not many changes on either side from that day. It was a game which, again, didn't mean an awful lot. Both were going to go through to World League 2 just to decide who was going to finish top of the pile. Wales had the most perfect starts. Gareth Furlong with 2 penalty corner goals in the first 5 minutes. 3 were up at one stage as well, despite our Forsyth pulling their ears back after Kenny Bain scored that day. It was 3-2 with Furlong, as I say, the 2 penalty corners. Hutchison got one as well, and it was a great performance. Scotland kind of feel Wales were a bogey side, and when Wales did so well in the group, Scotland wanted to try and void them. I think they were happy with Russia in the semi-finals. I'm sure they weren't so happy in the 59th minute when it went 4-3 to Scotland. Russia, Poland goes back for fun. Wales had the French come back, but that was always expected. France up the gears to try and get back into that semi-final, but Scotland and Wales are here. Ireland, England potentially, of course, top tier. It could be rather exciting in a couple of years' time, but this is for now. The countdown is on. It is the final of the EuroHockey Championship 2 in Wales in the red. Get us going from left to right. And great crowd, as I say, and the sun has even peeked through this afternoon after a lot of rain and murky weather this morning. Still a few dark clouds, but hopefully it stays sunny and fair.
There's some blue sky up there as well, Colin, don't you worry.
Here is Hawker early on for Wales, looking to try and pick up Francis. With the early possession in the opening seconds.
Scotland just sitting off just now, sitting back at half court.
And down towards Hawker once more. Got to watch the company of McIntyre.
Well watched by Gordon McIntyre, didn't dive in, just stood his ground, channeled him. Forced Hawker into making his mistake. Yeah, both these teams yesterday in the semi-finals certainly like to make it entertaining for the neutrals in the crowd. 4-0 up with 10 minutes to go, you'd think Scotland would have it in the bag, but they like to keep it interesting.
McIntyre, the 27-year-old, plays his club hockey with Reading. A number of the Wales players play for Reading as well. There's a lot of crossover between the two players at club level. I think it goes to Jamie Wong, who's had a fantastic tournament under the radar. Does all the stuff at the back. And made 1 or 2 goals as well from advanced positions and crosses into the D. It's been given here to Kyriakidis, James Kyriakidis. Crosser to the right here. Controlled by Wong. Couldn't get it away, but at least got it out the D for now. I think it goes to Kelly. Francis. Free hit for Wales. Furlong trying to wriggle around, but the way Scotland come with it. Morton. Alan Forsyth. Kenny Bain was right. And that'll be that he couldn't hold it off just for a few more seconds.
Lack of communication there between Kenny and Alan Forsyth. Like quite a good idea, but just not linked up.
Up from Gooch. Not quite controlled from Francis. Another player that plays for Reading. Still young at only 21. Early stages of his international career. Marshall. Space in the middle for McIntyre.
Good tackle there by Kyriakidis.
Cosgrove lost out. The run is Daniel Kyriakidis. Coming together with Marshall. Ball trickles away. Kelly. It's been good steady possession Wales have had in the first 4 minutes. Encouraging for the Wales supporters watching on. Shipperley looking to turn. Come together with Tim Atkins.
Scots rolling the substitutions already. Jamie Wong's coming off. David Forsyth at the back. Older brother of Alan.
Marshall. Nice idea, spotted the gap. Great the control from Cosgrove.
It's gone off from the sideline though. It's interesting to see what Scotland do. It's going to sit back. Are they going to go up and Scotland are just sitting back, allowing the Welsh just to pass it out from there.
Johnny Gooch forward. Then he couldn't control. Fraser across. Atkins.
There's a lot of both of these sets of players. A lot of them are looking to try and go one stage further than just playing for Wales or Scotland and try and get into the group bit and set up. There's 3 or 4 were already there. There's a number of them that will be looking to try and take that next step and get up and into that level. Olympics are 3 weeks out, 3 years away, but still in the minds of a lot of these players.
Sore one for Stephen Kelly. He had a little shake around, check everything's okay. I think you've got one sore nail on the week as well, but he's back up and running.
A lot of these players, even if they take the guy Duncan Riddle from Scotland yesterday, he's not playing today with a broken elbow. He played for 10-15 minutes for that yesterday. He just kept on going. So a lot of these players will take knocks and they just get up and get on with it. They're quite strong players. They've been in the gym a fair bit, out in the running pitches and tracks, etc. And it's a level of this level, playing at a European Cup final, they'll not want to be off on the side.
Dale Hutchison, he's starting for Wales. That's for Furlong and now Gooch.
Scotland will not want to concede any short corners to Wales, especially when Furlong's on the pitch. Is a real threat. It's something they look to try and minimise.
Kelly into the D. It's going to be a penalty corner. I think he jinxed that one there, but Welsh in the crowd are happy about this. They've got a chance here.
It was a kiss of death, wasn't it? Commentator's curse.
Here's another look at it here. Kelly with the delivery. He's wriggled up off a boot. And
I'd be surprised if we saw anything other than a Furlong flick here, just to see what he can do, see if his radar's working.
Dale Hutchison to inject. Furlong is there, also James Carson. Back from Furlong, Carson, saved by the keeper Alexander. Furlong take two. Dolan Gray there too also. And that comes to an end, that move.
Mashing around the goal mouth there, but a great save from Tommy Alexander, the goal from Scotland, kept the Welsh at bay. A number of chances, but he managed to block most of them. And eventually a foul conceded, and the Scots can breathe again. Little dummy at the top, good initial save from Alexander. The Scots then they would give it straight back. Furlong had a try, and another great save there, and then the Welsh conceded a silly foul. So the Scots can a sigh of relief there.
And Tommy Alexander has had some week. France game was the making of him, but he's had some other terrific performances. Back here for Kenny Bain, sliced that, and a right smile, and another one for Stephen Kelly to get one off, and
he's in the wars already.
Sugar of the head. Kenny Bain just making sure he's okay though, good sportsmanship.
It's guilt, I think, as much as anything else from Kenny. These players should be hitting into the reverse straight like that. They should all be able to hit it flat, so Kenny's probably a bit more embarrassed than anything else. But a sloppy bit of play there from the Welsh, giving the ball back to the Scots.
Yeah, here's Lee Morton. Marshall for David Forsyth. Marshall, McIntyre.
Nice play from Gordon McIntyre there.
It's lost by Brebner. Hutchison for Carson. Carson rattled away from the stick of Atkins.
Nice
Still
goal.
going here, this is sensational. Alf Denny tries to find space. I think it goes to Furlong. Spike forward by Daniel Kyriakidis. And just another keeper clearance. From Furlong once more.
Well won by Jamie Wong.
And doing superbly against Carson.
Nice ball from Ben Cosgrove. Kenny being out wide. Slowing it down a little bit.
Back at Augusta with Marshall. Marshall then was with a powerful pass for Morton. Still going there. Hand off the Their stick, they've got a long corner.
And Pan on your side spotting a bit of niggle between two of the players in the D. Just ask them to refrain and be sensible.
Atkins' delivery. Need to get something on that. Or certainly not his feet on it. It was Byers trying to watch out, but going behind. But it still is with Scotland, and he's back. McIntyre. David Forsyth. Let's hammer away after the event by Carson. There's always going to be a free hit for Scotland there. It just slows it down. Here's Grasic. Wong. Kyriakidis in that spot, just stopping things. Morton. Right on the baseline.
Lovely work from Lee Morton. Morton's that sort of situation is quite a skillful player. It's quite hard to get the ball off him. He's got lovely 3D skills.
And then two Byers off Daniel Kyriakidis. Grasic. Nice for Jamie Wong. Didn't skip just how he wanted. Here's Lee Morton. And that will be the end of that.
Maybe as much as Lee's got lovely skills on the edge of the D there, a bit cumbersome as he was trying to lumberjack his way through there.
Wales with a good start to the quarter. Scotland edged their way in a little bit as the first quarters went on.
I think the Welsh are a bit happier with how they've settled into this game. Scots have sort of allowed them to just keep the ball and play the ball around.
Across the row, Guinevere almost snuck it off him. Gooch and Shipper, just calm stuff from Wales. A little pressure, but not too much from Scotland. Eventually they go long and it's Guinevere to Grasic, just behind Lee Morton.
A little bit sloppy from Grasic.
Lewis Prosser. Hawker. Oh, he thought he was maybe going to pick up something there, but back to Scotland. Couple of minutes left of this first quarter. Wales side that dropped down to the third division in 2015, had to battle back into the second tier. Now they're going to be heading back up. A bit of a solo for Draper, Alan Forsyth on throw for Kenny Bain. Kenny Bain taken out.
Yeah, as you say earlier on, Wales certainly, they're not a C division team or a third tier team. They're certainly up there with the sort of top 12 teams in Europe, and thoroughly deserve their promotion back up to the A division.
A lot of bruising balls in this first quarter. Like Hawker this time taking a sword, but he's in the way of it. Marshall to deliver. Gooch tried to get it away, but Bain got it back. Grasic. There's a Scotland ball.
A minute to go. Patience from both teams.
Marshall again, but that will disappear away by.
Into the last 15 seconds. We'll maybe have one last push.
Shipperley found Hawker. Hawker run out of space. Away comes Scotland, and away went Willie Marshall, and that is the end of the first quarter. No goals in this final of the EuroHockey Championship 2. And a steady start to this one. Wales started at a bit more pace in terms of possession. Scotland edged their way into it later into the quarter, but 0-0 so far as the sides head into their little break. Been pretty stalemate in the end.
Scotland are quite happy just sitting back and allowing Wales to have the ball in their own half. You know, they're just sitting back saying, right, you have it, you're not coming any further. And when they do, they're quite quickly closing them down, keeping them out nice and wide. But maybe sort of each team just sussing each other out. Hopefully change in the next quarter. See the coach down at front there, barking out his orders. Welsh coach Zach Jones will be up in the stand somewhere, giving his remarks, his comments to the assistant coach who'll be down there giving them out. Players listening intently.
So, the team talk for Scotland, Derek Forsyth, it was fairly brief. It's done after about a minute, and Wales still in intense conversation. The coaching team down there. Said such close games between Scotland and Wales in recent times. A 3-2 win for Wales at World League 1 in the group stage round 2 of the World League. It was a 2-2 draw with a 4-2 penalty shootout, bonus point win in that group phase. And later on in that competition, win the game equalled the World League semi-final contest. Scotland thrashed Wales by 4-0.
Certainly hope we can get some goals for this next quarter. 0-0 is never good to watch, but hopefully both teams can try and break the deadlock, get some goals. There's a packed house in here, so they deserve some action, some shots. And
yeah, hopefully they've not used them all in that third-fourth playoff in France and Russia, which finished 5-4 to the French after they went 4-2 down. They were 1-0 down, they were 2-1 down, 4-2 down, 1-5-4.
Both those teams ranked the highest in the tournament, and they've come third and fourth. Which is testament to both Wales and Scotland how well they've done. That's lovely skill.
Johnny Gooch, Carson, Jamie Wong ushering them out towards the corner flag. Gooch helping it in its way. The comeback for Wales will end that attack.
You see a lot of teams these days just trying that, just when they get in and around the D, just throwing the ball in, maybe a little lifted pass or hitting it in hard, and they're hoping just to get a little nick, an edge in this defender's stick. They might win a corner, it might fall nicely to an attacker's stick, open goal. Okay, might not rely on an awful lot of skill or whatever, but it does work and can prove quite fruitful.
The sticks coming together there.
Umpire not happy with that. Trying to clamp down on that straight away.
Byers, Alan Forsyth trying to control, wasn't quite expecting it to come to him so quickly, I think.
Gav Byers, one of the only two of the Scots that play up here in Scotland in this team. The rest are all down England or abroad.
They've trained for a few years now to develop the national team. Wales, all of their squad are based in England. A few still play with Cardiff and Met domestically, the younger players particularly. Wales continuing their good start to the game. A flick back here for Hutchison into the circle. Dolan Gray again in a lively spot. Penalty corner signal from the umpire.
100% sure what that's been given for. Maybe thought it was a wee nudge in the back. Have a look here and see. So again, it's the ball across, lifted.
Maybe come off a foot next to the player next to the keeper, possibly.
That's number 2 corner for the Welsh.
Hutchison across to inject.
No furlong on the pitch though.
Different look then. I on wall there, James Carson. There's Carson. Oh, and it balled up, and it's another penalty corner.
Straight off run Russell Anderson there. Look at this. Russell Anderson running number one straight out. You can come off his stick onto Nicky Parks, number 22. Running out number one as fast as that, straight down the barrel of the shot. It requires an awful lot of nerves of steel and guts.
Another chance for Wales. And it has went in this time. And James Carson has given Wales the lead in the final.
I'm not sure Alan Forsyth and the line knew really much about this. Quite a wide push out, they move to the right a little bit here in Welsh. A good look from behind the goal. You see Alan Forsyth is on the left there. Welsh moving their stick stop out. Yeah, good flick. Welsh to the lead 1-0.
So James Carson had another goal to his tally for Wales. That's now 6 in this week's competition. Their top goal scorer. And actually one off the tournament top goal scorer, Alan Forsyth, who has 7. So Wales fans celebrating at home or in the stands as they have the lead, and as we said, Graham, thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, I mean, they've had the bulk of the possession, they've just been patient with what they've done, they've looked to go forward. There's a lot of nice skill attacking the baseline on either side, left and right. They won their corner and they've taken a good lead with a good drag flick, so I don't think you can complain. As a neutral watching this, 1-0 scoreline would probably reflect the state of the game. Now it'll be interesting to see if being 1-0 down will bring the Scots out to play a little bit more.
And it was for Hawkett.
A long way to go in the game as well. It's only just started the second quarter, and you're looking at maybe 6-7 goals a game, so we'd hope there'll be a lot of goals left.
Morton, Parks, Atkins. Of course, they're getting in the road. Hutchison going to wheel away. Prosser comes and helps.
Nicky Park's got a 6'3" frame in the middle there. You always got to watch out when he's around, because you think you're past him and all of a sudden the stick comes from the middle of nowhere and just takes the ball from you.
Ewan Wall stopped in his tracks by Marshall, and it's going to be a card to you.
Tackle. I think he might sit in the naughty step over here in front of us. I don't think you can have too many complaints about that.
For a couple of minutes.
It's the sort of tackle I see some of my school kids do when they first start playing.
Marshall will take a seat. So Wales maybe will try and capitalise with the extra player for the next 2 minutes. That green card. Hutchison for Shipperley. Twist, turn. Wall. Gooch. Also for Kelly. Draper having to watch Alan Forsyth. Kyriakidis. Walker hands up, apologises.
Yeah, Scotland just need to just kill the game for a little bit until William Marshall comes back on. No need for them to rush it just now, just run the clock down as much as they can do. Giving away the ball like that, it's not an ideal scenario.
Kelly couldn't keep hold of it. Russell Anderson did well. Wales do have the free hit. Gooch switching tact inside. Hawker in.
It's unlucky for the Welsh. A nice little deflection in, get the ball in early. Defenders might not be ready, might catch them unaware, win a short corner. As you've seen, when the Welsh get a short corner, they've got a good chance, good routine.
Flashed up. Another body blow for Daniel Kyriakides cross there. Wales carry on though. Kelly.
Let's see how bad that injury is. It's him on the ball. He's fine.
Bit ginger for a minute, walking. I'm sure he'll be fine. Here's Shipperley turning to the D, wriggling through. Strength. He's run out of stretch at the end to get any power and strike. He's an awkward looking player in terms of he's quite big and he's tall, but he's physical, but he's fast, Shipperley.
Nice bit of skill there from Tim Atkins at right back, bringing the ball out.
And there's another look at the run. Shipperley just losing his feet at the end of that move.
There's a lack of communication there between Willie Marshall and Jamie Wong. Marshall could maybe have just passed the ball a little bit earlier, but decided he wanted to run with it. And Jamie Wong doing the right thing to drop off and give him a support pass, but Willie Marshall just passing it a little bit awry, giving the ball back to the Welsh. Fraser on the ball for Scotland.
Cheap win back in Scotland with Grasic, Lee Morton, and towards Alpha side.
Yeah, that's great defending by the Welsh there. He read that play.
Draper doing really well. He's a young lad, only 19, but he has been impressive this week. 21st cap for Wales for Draper tonight. Cardiff and Met players.
As the public announcement to the owner of the notice registration NA5FWD.
Process for Wall. Dolan Gray. Taking on Bremner.
It's a poor touch there from cross up.
Alan for Scythe. Might be a hint of a break, but I think McIntyre Wales comfortable again with possession.
Scotland is lacking that final pass, that cutting edge to complete a move. The Welsh are a bit more composed, a bit more sort of compact, know what they're doing. I'm sure Scotland coach will have a word with them at half time and try and resolve that problem. The timing of that pass from the lead out just isn't quite there for the Scotland team, resulting in turnover upon turnover, giving the ball back to the Welsh.
Shipperley turns away from Jamie Wong. Parks trying to get back. There's Island Wall. Daniel Kyriakides. Comes off Morton. Look where Wales ball up. Final 5 until half time.
Just looking at the Welsh bench below, as you can see Gareth Furlong sitting there with his ankle or his knee on the ice. I'm not sure if we'll see him against his ankle. It's a blow for the Welsh in their short corner exploits.
Absolutely.
As we saw in their second short corner, they've got pretty good replacements.
Yeah, it looks like it's just on his ankle, but just lower.
Again, another sloppy turnover from Scotland, though, just giving the ball cheaply back to the Welsh.
Owen and Gray trying to get down the line. Good spot there, Graham. The ice pack, the fancy ice pack is on, so it might be a game ender. Hopefully not from a Wales perspective. Scotland might not be too dissatisfied. See a penalty corner threat. Well, it didn't matter too much for the opening goal.
The Welsh maybe caught a bit of Scottish-itis there, just giving the ball away cheaply. The players are beginning to get tired. Gordon McIntyre dropping back into centre defence.
It's a bit loose. Not going to get that.
A lot of loose passes from both teams now.
Tiredness will be a bit of a factor with all the games they've had. They did have the rest day and Thursday, but so I think mentally draining as well. What happened to both sides yesterday?
Yeah, with games in Scotland and Wales, I was saying earlier on, these can never go to form. You know, it might be that say Wales are winning every game and Scotland are struggling, and then Scotland can turn them over. It's a very hard one to predict.
And
silly dive in from Ben Cosgrove there. It's resulted in the Welsh having an overload.
Draper kept on its way on the edge of the D. Francis couldn't find a teammate.
Nice skill initially from David Forsyth out of defence there. Lucky to win it back. 2 minutes to go. Scotland have the ball in their own 23.
Parks. Well, Hawker, if he was a couple inches quicker there, and Neil stuck in there. Martin Life, David Forsyth, pass, threw the race away. At the other end for Scotland. Just can't keep hold of possession against the Scots and Wales. Looking to capitalise all the time. Gooch fine, Prossett. Hawker. And turnover possession.
Last little attack from Scotland, just Nicky Park just holding on to it a fraction too long. If you just given the ball a little bit earlier, pass the ball early, move into space.
Marshall just kept alive by Anderson, but straight back to Wall. Final minutes of the quarter till half time. Here's Dinny running straight past Marshall, and Alexander had to come out because racing in was Dale Hutchinson. Mugridge.
Alan Forsyth winning the ball there, but there's no support, no one around him.
Francis looking for a penalty corner, but comes back out. A nudge from Fraser and Kyriakides. James Kyriakides it was. And Fraser on his 50th cap is going for a little break for the final 14 seconds of this quarter. And for the first just under 2 minutes of the third quarter after half time.
I think that comes down to frustration from Cammy Fraser there. 50-50 with Kyriakides, he's never really going to come off best in that one.
James Kyriakides off bias. Half time, Wales have the lead in the EuroHockey Championship 2 final. James Carson's penalty corner goal in the 18th minute. The difference between the two sides being a far more physical, cagey affair than one or two were expecting, but with the hard work done in terms of promotion, it's been a different task of trying to be up for a final for this trophy, a magnificent trophy, which we'll see in the presentation later. Let's look at the goal then, and it was this penalty corner.
You see, just before the corner was injected, the Welsh at the top moved to the right. You see the guy just there now, he's behind the goalkeeper, all of a sudden he moves. That can sometimes put off the number one runner, because they then have to change the angle of their run, which then they might be running in front of the goalkeeper. As you saw there, quite potentially, Forsyth on the line and the goalkeeper's view was completely obscured, and that can sometimes be a bit of a nuisance. It's quite not a good option to do. Occasionally, if you know what you're doing, it causes a bit of a problem, and good goal from the Welsh.
So that's how things are at the moment. We'll take a little pause there. James Carson's goal. We'll be back shortly for the third quarter. And at the break, it's Wales 1, Scotland 0.
second half underway. Wales 1, Scotland 0. James Carson's goal celebrating the two sides. The EuroHockey Championship 2 final. Time for you to get behind your side.
Welcome back then for the third quarter here at the National Hockey Centre in Glasgow in the EuroHockey Championship 2 final. Wales have the lead against Scotland by a goal to nil. The goal coming from James Carson. And we are underway for the third quarter, and we're having a little look and discussion about the changes, or maybe the team talk for the half-time period. Graham Dunlop, the Scotland GB player, also himself Carl Patterson. And Graham, the Scotland guys were out very quickly with about 3 minutes or so left of the break.
The coach, Derek Forsyth, has been around for an awful long time, and when he's not happy about something, he'll make his thoughts known. So maybe it's been the old Alex Ferguson hairdryer treatment in the changing room quickly, and the boys have sussed out, oh, he's not happy, and they went and do something about it. But we'll soon see in the next few minutes whether things have changed. Sloppy from Russell Anderson. But certainly Wales in the first half in this ascendancy, in control of the game. And Scotland have to come out and do something to change that around.
And of course, Cameron Fraser still serving the rest of his green card. Kenny Bean's sitting down beside him, but I think he's just sitting there, just to be different.
He's used to it, maybe that's what it is. He's there that often. Nah, I'm kidding, he's not. Just in case his dad's listening.
Here's Atkins. Bit tight for Grasic. Has the free hit.
Taking it early.
On for Scythe. Morton just keeping it alive.
Scotland back on to the full complement.
Bain was kind of just hanging around because he was going to take over. Fraser's not decided to do it. Lee Morton. Atkins. Getting in the way there was Robert Mugridge. Marshall. Wong. Coming in towards Bain.
The crowd are not happy with that decision. They felt they would come up off the Welsh defender into the Scots player. We'll look at this here. Maybe they have an argument there. Again, if this was up in the A division, there'd be replays and you could appeal and get a chance to get decisions reviewed.
Yeah, there was a referral here, but umpires are fairly confident because they could have had a chat, but fine that decision.
Speaking to a lot of the players and to various different teams this week, they've all been very complimentary about the umpiring. So the umpiring here is of a good standard, so very rarely do they get it wrong. If they do, they've got the decency to sort of put their hand up and ask, and they'll even apologise. That's a very, very rare thing.
Here's Grasic for Morton. Grasic gets it back. Couldn't spread that through. Gooch stopped that. Shipperley.
Good burst of
Running
pace here.
May through the middle. Look at Shipperley here. Tried to find one of the two. One of them was Gooch, but it came off long. It will be a Welsh free hit. Gooch with the ball, but wasn't a good one for Shipperley. Scotland very cheaply get it back. Grasic for Fraser. quickly back on after a brief green card and then a rest after that.
Good tackle in defence there by Shipperley. Didn't dive in, took his time and won the ball perfectly. He's had a good game so far, Shipperley.
Very important. Got the opener in the semi-final.
We see already this quarter Scotland have stepped up a little bit higher, and the Welsh have the ball in defence. They're pushing up a little bit more, trying to reduce the time they've got to play the ball out.
Here's David Forsyth. Bremner. To watch Hawker there. Marshall Bremner continues his run. Morton on the other side. To the pocket. Back for Wales. Coming together with sticks. I've talked about a little bit about the meetings between the two sides. These two mates here just a little over 3 years ago now, when this place was part of the Commonwealth Games, of course, in 2014. In a group game, Wales beat Scotland 4-3. It's a legacy venue, the Commonwealth Games. I'm sure people watching in the BBC Sports Stream remember that, watching the coverage. Into the stream comes for Hawker. Away, Scotland get it from immediate danger for now through David Forsyth.
And the Welsh are attacking. They all just seem that just now they're all getting to the ball first. They're just that little bit more dynamic. Scotland seem a little bit lacklustre, a little bit sort of waiting for someone else to do something. From a Scotland point of view, I think they want someone who's going to just take the game by the scruff of the neck and do something. And their sort of talisman, Alan Forsyth, Kenny Bain, Chris Grassick.
Marshall. Anderson. Trying to work around Francis. And try again from a different avenue. Grassick trying to help it into the deep. Scotland struggled to really get too many balls inside the deep. Here comes James Kyriakidis. That's not the best of balls. Byers for Scotland. Fraser. Trickles away. And Fraser makes way for Parks.
A lack of link between the lines here in the Scotland team. You know, I see what Cameron Fraser was potentially trying to do, but there was no link between him and it was Lee Morton up front.
Another point which we touched on in the second quarter, still no sign of Gareth Furlong, which suggests to me he's not down there with light anymore, but I'm surprised if we see him again.
He's got an awful lot of strapping on his ankle down there. Tracksuit top, etc., and jacket on, so I doubt we're going to see him.
So it's a loss for Wales, but in this tight game it's not mattered too much for now. The penalty corner that they got, Carson scored.
So, good tackle there from Nicky Parks. Scotland needs to sort of start stepping up a little bit more rather than sitting back as much.
Fire by on wall. Too much venom. On great. It's annoyed a little bit with the ball, maybe with himself, maybe thought he could have got to it, but Scotland raced forward. Time ticking in this third quarter. Just under 6 minutes left. Anderson down the channel. Bremner wriggled into the D. No one there to collect in blue and white, only in red, which Wales are happy to take, but that was a nice pass. Closer couldn't keep it within the stick.
From a Scottish point of view, it's a little bit more positive as when they get the ball. They're looking to go forward within the D now a couple of times, so there are signs from the Scottish point of view that they are beginning to come into the game a little bit more. But the Welsh still probably in the ascendancy.
Space. James Kyriakides for Dolan Gray. Anderson. It's hard to see him. Kind of just, he kind of just couldn't get out of the way of that. Cross out to Dolan Gray.
Welsh getting first to the ball.
And James Carson turning into the circle and Dolan Gray, number 2. But they're going to stop the thing. The umpires have stopped the clock here. They're just going to have a talk.
Scotland players will be appealing for maybe a back stick here. It's a good bit of play for Wales. Look here, you see pick up, turn, drive over his left shoulder. Carson hits a nice ball into the D. I'm not sure they say it's come up of. Umpires seem to be quite together on what the decision is. Yeah, decided it's not a goal. So the one umpire is pointing from the 16 in the Scotland defence. No goal given. So from the replays we saw there, it was quite hard to decide what actually happened, just the way the sun's on the screen, etc.
Yeah, well, that's just giving the crowd a bit of life. Goal not given. Now,
I think someone in the crowd, someone has lit a little bit of blue touch paper. This game is coming to life nicely.
Got a penalty corner with Scotland. Let's post on a chat with the umpire. 4 minutes left in this quarter. So we'll just go with inconclusive with the Welsh second goal that was chalked off. And now up the other side within 10-15 seconds of the restart of play. And then it's going to be a penalty corner here for Scotland. First one of note.
Scott's got a bit more impetus about it after that decision, a bit of relief come back to them, a bit of gap and go.
Fires to inject. Kenny Bain off the woodwork. Bain take 2. It's going to be another penalty corner and another chance.
Have a look at this here. He had the opportunity with the rebound but failed to connect properly. Take 2.
So another injection for Scotland and Gavin Byers. Kenny Bain this time again. And off the line looked like it was Daniel Kyriakides.
So you see this here. That's a great save on the line. That ball's coming at him 70-80 miles an hour. He's only about 15 metres away, even if that. That's an impressive save.
Marshall. And that comes to an end. I wonder if that's maybe the little spark. Scotland need Wales. Need to regroup now and get the heads back in gear. Never got the second goal. Need to calm down a little bit.
The crowd beginning to find their voice.
Heavy Scottish crowd, of course, but there is a good deal of Welsh supporters here.
Slippery pass from the Welsh.
And of course, Kenny Bain. And once more, back it comes for Jamie Wong. Marshall flick it to the other side. He's going to get it back now. Down the middle with Venom. Oh, Alan Byers couldn't turn and get it out of the stick.
Maybe he was a bit unaware, that unexpected that ball came all the way through to him. Silly foul to give away though.
Byers scoring that 4-0 win at League 2, which helped Scotland reach the semi-finals. That one runs away from Luke Hawker. Right up a gear of intensity from both sides ever since that second goal was chalked off for Wales. Falling in from Marshall, that's a waste this time.
It's one thing Willie Marshall always do, he'll always look to go long, hit direct straight to the top of the D, so when it comes off it's magic, but he's just got to make sure he does it at the right time, doesn't force the ball.
Nice one from Gordon McIntyre, and also Hutchinson.
Into the last minute in this third quarter.
Crosser for Hawker. And two half cleans for the foot, but Marshall away. Away from McIntyre for Alan Forsyth. Kenny Bain. Cosgrove is in the deep, but that dribbles away. Kenny Bain on to cap 160 today. A few seconds, Bremner lofting up his part, comes off Dinny. Scotland are going to fire, one last ball in. Bremner send to the Alan Forsyth, and the hooter has gone.
Hooter's gone.
Takes a double hooter for the umpires to realise, never to realise. But that is the end of the third quarter. Wales still have the lead. It's just prized open a little bit, particularly in the last few minutes after the disallowed goal. Sure me, we'll get a look at it, one or two moments to look at from the third quarter, because it was some fair old action in there. So let's have a little look at what's just happened over the last 15 minutes.
It's a good bit of play from Wales, creating a good opportunity. It's a good ball in from Carson. I think what the umpires potentially have given that for is maybe the back stick.
I don't know if I can see this from this angle.
Maybe even in off his body. Not sure what that's come off, but
Yes,
there was some reaction there from some of the Scottish players. It was quite clear something was wrong. Scotland's first corner, Bain flicks it right at the crossbar. He'll be unhappy with his flick not being in the goal, but also the chance of that rebound, and that ball was bouncing at. Normally he'll put that straight through the goalkeeper into the net. But they're a great save on the line. The kiddies.
Still 15 minutes to go though, so still plenty of time for Wales to try and get a second. Scotland to get one back. There is the option there that if it's 1-1 or a draw after the 60, that would be a running shootout. I thought we were going to head that way in the semi-final, but it didn't happen. France going off a remarkable comeback. Scotland have to harness what they've tried and up. They'll get the crowd behind them for the last 15. Wales, will they try and stick, or will they try and twist to try and get a little cushion?
You've got to go for it. It's 15 minutes. These guys have got a couple of weeks off. Go and relax. You know, it's all or nothing. Cup final, you don't want to come second in a cup final. No one remembers who came second. You want to go out there and go for it and win it. One goal down, you've just got to throw everything at it. You know, you might even see the goalie coming off at some stage.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the the goalkeepers coming off late on in certain games, particularly today. There was some mess with the Czech Republic this morning. To get a goal back against Portugal, got one back. Wasn't enough in that defeat, but they swapped around the two goalkeepers just for playtime, and then one of them got yellow carded. So the other came on, and literally the other one came back one after that and came back off pretty quickly for the kicking back. Yeah, it was a bit that crazy. There's been a few crazy moments in the 7 games, been lively at times. As I say, the third, fourth playoff, it was something come back from France against Russia. And we've seen what happened in the 2 semi-finals yesterday. Here's Draper for Wales. Wales are heading for the gold medal and the trophy. And Wall just hit that goal. Well, not quite what he was intending.
Again, Marshall just wanted to go look long. Best bet for him is just to get the ball moving as early as he can do, keep the game flowing.
Wong looking for McIntyre. Back with Wales though.
Unfortunate slip there from McIntyre.
Coming away, Byers. This needs to reset. Morton. And looking for Byers. Just behind. Morton does pick it back up. Was he taken out? No, he wasn't. He just fell. Ball clear to Colin Gray. He was looking to punish on the break.
Look a bit harsh there. The Welsh player was ever going to get that, but
Daniel Kyriakidis. Draper. Free hit very quickly from Draper. Comes off Byers. Long corner. Gooch. Back with Daniel Kyriakidis. Foster dispossessed and, well, certainly stopped briefly by Fraser. Long trying to get out of the tight gap. And did so very well to find Grasek. Fraser, Grasek. Grasek is on a mazy run. Stopped by Johnny Gooch. Free hit taken quickly from Grasek. Ball is saved. Can't quite come for McIntyre, but they do have a penalty corner. And Cosgrove ball across, caused all sorts of bother. Couldn't quite find a Scotland goal, but they do have the next best thing.
Chris Grassett's got to take all the praise for that. Picked the ball up just outside his own 25 and just drove at pace. Won some fouls, didn't give the opposition time to set up. Welsh are a little bit unhappy with clearing it. You know, it's a bit of a soft corner to give away. Scotland's third short corner, and you'd be hoping from an international team, you know, certainly 1 every 3 should go in.
Well, Bain and Al Forsyth are both standing below us, so they're going to be watching this one. And then Marshall is in the pocket. Costco, Bremner, Wong there. There's Marshall! It's swept through! William Marshall with a big celebration. Scotland crowd celebrate. It is 1-1.
I'm not sure who got the final touch. I think Gavin Byers might have actually managed to get that over the line. A low flick from William Marshall at the top. The goalie feels that it kind of deflected. It's actually deflected in off the Welsh defender there. Just in front of the goalkeeper. Comes in, deflected. Either Marshall and Gavin Byers will take credit for that one. Brings Scotland back into the game.
It's been credited to Ben Cosgrove on the line. Might be a dubious goal panel one to see if his touch took it over, if he touched it over the line, but it's been given to Ben Cosgrove. But all the credit to William Marshall. And now pressure, Alan Forsyth put on Johnny Gooch. Under 1 minute left. It was to stay like this, we'll be heading to a running shootout. David Forsyth. Grasic left it. Anderson in a bit of a tangle. Grasic continues. Kicked out. Grasic. And it's going to be cleared by Wales. Gooch as well.
Turned over again cheaply though. And Scotland got back in possession.
Fraser.
Good tackle from Gooch there, but again, just a bit of panic maybe in the Welsh defence, just turning it over cheaply.
Launched into the D. Alan Forsyth. Forsyth!
Alan Forsyth
What's going to be?
A short corner there, but the other umpire's not giving anything, he's not budging from hands by his side.
Wales have taken the hit with the goal. They're looking to try and regather themselves. They haven't really recovered since the second goal was chalked off towards the end of the third quarter.
I was saying earlier on, you really need this, from a Scotland point of view, one of the big key players to sort of step up and take a bit of responsibility. It's Chris Grasic there for that goal. Stepped up, and all it was just hard, straight running, not giving up. And maybe the rest of the team will take a lift from that as Willie Marshall wins possession.
Yeah, here comes Fraser. It's not going to be a penalty corner, it's going to be a long corner.
The crowd desperately feeling for a short corner there.
Wales hanging on a little bit here from the pressure. Parks. Alan Forsyth!
Yeah.
He has scored! He's turning it around! Scotland leads! What a 3 minutes! What a period for the host nation! They lead the Welsh! And it is the main marksman.
You cannot leave England's top scorer for the last 2 years, the Great Britain centre forward, unmarked, and in front of that in the D, a great pick-up. You give him that chance, he takes that every single time. It's a great goal. See here from back, leads ahead, picks up the ball, turns round, and his back to go, just turns and squeezes the ball into the corner.
He is the tournament top goal scorer. That's now 8 goals. He does it from penalty corners. He can do it so deadly from open play. If it's not him, it's Kenny Bain. It can be devastating. But for Wales, Scotland started so well in this fourth quarter. And 2 goals. Ben Cosgrove tapping in from William Marshall's penalty corner. And Alan Forsyth has now made it 2-1.
As always in games like this, in finals towards the end when teams are getting tired, this game's going to become more and more open. I think both teams are going to have chances, to score. And
yeah, still plenty of time here for Wales to get themselves back into it, re-engage, refocus. Maybe now going behind, they can forget about what's went before them. Morton couldn't quite control that.
Done quite well to take out the sky as much as he did.
True point. Wales have it back though. Now having to work from deep. Just under 8 minutes left in the game. 1 goal would take it to the shootout. So Wales just need to get some possession because they've not done this for, well, certainly this quarter. 4-2 Hawker. Free hit. Shipperley just slipping. Away comes McIntyre. A bit unfortunate for Shipperley. Just taking a little bit of sting off. Here's Morton. To dribble by Tripoli and Wall there.
A very elusive player, Lee Morton. He doesn't look much to him, lightweight, but he's fast. The acceleration is really, really good, and his skills are magic.
Still developing well, 22 years of age. Here's Grasic in the other channel. Into the D. King off Cosgrove and away out off the baseline he goes.
Great play from David Forsyth there, stepping up from centre back.
Cosgrove was against him. Margaret's looking to try and fire in now. 6 minutes left.
And the ball is going to come into the D thick and fast now. Scotland is allowing that long corner just to go back away from their goal. You sometimes see teams just stopping it, going back.
Play on here, says the umpires. It's going to be a penalty corner to Wales.
Welsh players running over to the dugout to get the instructions for this corner. Gooch receiving his orders. He'll run back to the top of the D to the huddle, tell the players what they've got to do.
So this is a big chance for Wales. This is another moment where they can regroup, take the 40 seconds while Scotland sign up, while talk over the options from the penalty corner. Maybe now they wished Gareth Furlong wasn't crook on the sidelines, but Carson scored the opener from a penalty corner. The own Wall is there too. Just to get back at 2-2. Carson, it's high by the keeper of the tournament, Tommy Alexander.
This is a chance for Scotland, a counter-attack here.
Fraser, Lee Morton. Lee Morton, was he taken out by James Kyriakidis? I think it was just a bit over-exuberance from the crowd.
Umpire nearly making himself rather unpopular with that side of the crowd down there, but the right decision. Lee just tripped.
Is the free hit. Bremner. Morton trying to get past Shipperley. It's a long corner.
Scotland just sort of using the clock, running the clock down there in the corner. You can see now more and more off to Scotland when they get the ball, just taking a little bit more time.
Yeah, Wales actually got the restart there. Quickly back with Scotland and Fraser on halfway.
Scotland don't have to score again, they can just bide it and CJ will just sort of sauntering over.
Yeah, a bit different at the end of the third quarter where Wales had 15 minutes to try and hold off a 1-0 lead. This is a bit different.
Yeah.
Security might be what they're after. Grasic trying to stay alive while slipping on the floor there with the ball.
I think you found well what he was doing there, running the clock down a little bit.
Grasic weaving. He's always going to be in trouble to try and keep hold of that in the tight spot. Wales looking to get going, but the umpire says getting the right spot. Ill discipline. You have to watch because it could be a card if you're going to be like that, but you have to take it from the right position.
So Welsh have taken the goalie off, gone to 11 outfield players.
Yeah, James Kyriakidis, Daniel Kyriakidis rather, is going to put the bib on, so he's kicking back now. So goalkeeper with special privileges, but he's outfield, I should say, with special privileges.
Special privileges mean you can stop the ball with your body. Good luck. Not something I'd rather like to be doing.
Yeah, it's Constantine Nicotine, seen earlier today, of side that they're trailing in the tournament, and He's done that 2 or 3 times, I think now, or certainly a couple of times. Here's Kenny Bain trying to break away. Bremner. So just bars off the ball. Both teams need to keep the cool.
3.5 minutes with 11 outfield players. It's the challenge that's there for Wales.
All these Daniel Kiriakidis in his bib.
All these teams will have practiced with 11 and playing against 11, so it's...
Wales maybe going to pile on the pressure. Scotland struggled with the light pressure. Well, both sides did struggle with the light pressure when they were trying to defend leads in the semi-final. But Scotland, they're defending. Wales looking for an equaliser in the final 2.5 minutes. Here's Gooch. Into the D he goes. Johnny Gooch. Alexander there again.
As it has been the whole tournament for Scotland, and a great goalkeeper. You commentated on it earlier on saying maybe goalkeeper of the tournament.
Wiggling through again. Luke Hawker. Away it comes and away comes McIntyre.
Great, mature, calm play there from Gordon McIntyre. Very composed. Tim Atkins on the ball at right back. Just throwing it long. You'll see the work rate now of the Scots will go right up. There might be a few tackles put in there, a few stitches to slow things down.
Daniel Kiriakidis.
All for size sprinting all the way back there.
Francis might get it back. And came out again for Scotland, and anywhere will do.
William Marshall, this trusted 3-iron at the back there. Just get rid of it.
Gooch. That was a bit tired looking. Didn't fall for Byers. Wall.
Great work from Gavin Byers.
James Kiriakidis. There's a Welsh free hit.
Into the last minute now. Scotland got to come out and put this under pressure.
Gooch. Into the D, but out it goes. Wales are running out of time. Kenny Bain taking no prisoners. There at Forsyth won't care that he nailed it, taken out with the ball. On the sidelines. Branson ever so quicker as the second stick down. Kenny Bain stolen it again. And now there could be Al Forsyth making the run. Kenny Bain trying to stay on his feet. Here he is, Bain. Was he taken down? No, he wasn't. Both players on the floor. Last 10 seconds. And the time's going to stop here. Well, there's still time on the clock. Scotland players are on the field. There's 2 players now in the D. There's still 2 seconds to clock. The officials are telling them get off the pitch.
It's all over.
It's not over yet.
It certainly is not.
That's a little reversal of that famous quote. There for time, getting told to calm down. As it's the rest of the Scotland team. That put the crowd countdown into a bit of a shambles.
When Kenny Bain had the ball, maybe he was a little bit selfish. He could have released Alan Forsyth to get a goal, puts the game to bed. You know, we've said it time and time again, in games like this, in sports like hockey, it's just important you get it, give it, move the ball as early as you can do.
He kind of was trying to save himself at the same time because he was about to fall on the floor, but well, you're on about the kicking back, and Daniel Kiriakidis put his body in the line a bit there.
The game has really come to life in this last sort of 20 minutes, the last quarter and a bit of the third quarter. The Welsh will feel, hard done by in many ways because they dominated the game, they controlled the game for 45-50 minutes, and Scotland have just come into it in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes and scored 2 goals. I
like this. Johnny Gooch has put the bib on now for 2 seconds. Literally, we're going to have 2 seconds of play. I'm going to confidently predict Scotland have won this now.
Commentators' curse might come here. I don't know, Carl.
It will be one of the most almightiest of commentators' curse. are EuroHockey Championship 2 winners. They've been promoted, but they've done it in pure style, and they've had to do it from coming from behind. In the final quarter, they were on the end of a nervy comeback from the Russians in the semi-final, but they had their own comeback in the final. And how good does it feel for the Scots?
They were delighted, absolutely delighted. They know fine well themselves at the first 50 minutes they didn't play well. The Welsh in control of the game, and maybe the hairdryer treatment, the old Sir Alex Ferguson at half-time from coach for Sweden. Maybe that's done the job. They came out, they were a different team in the last quarter. They took their chances, they got some short corners, even hit the crossbar from Kenny Bain. So, yeah, the last quarter alone they deserved to get some goals, but the Welsh had chances throughout the game to score, didn't take them.
There's a big story with Scotland this week that a lot of the time they've actually won quite ugly. They played the first maybe 50 minutes against Russia, they played excellently, but France, it was more a defensive job, good goalkeeping, took their chances, but then they've been a bit scratchy the rest of the week. The late win against Ukraine, so they've kind of ground out results. Maybe that shows how the Scotland team are. They can play well when they want, but now they're good enough to ground out results.
I think you can say that for both of these teams. You know, both these teams have come through the last 3-4 years, and if they've been playing in games like this again, they might not have got the points, they might not have scored that goal to get there. So I think both teams have really stepped up. Okay, there's a winner today in Scotland, but both teams can go away from this tournament quite happy with what they've done and what they've shown they can do. And as both teams look forward to next year and the years, so what's in store for them, there's a lot to be positive about. You know, there should be a lot of confidence for Welsh, Scottish, British hockey as a whole, because that's hopefully, you know, after the Europeans, the A division, yeah, we'll have England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales all in the A division, which is pretty special.
Yeah, we've been last couple of days talking about the four, you know, three All Nations Ireland, the British and Irish Isles all represented. There'd be some bit of a shock if England and Ireland were to come down, but you never know, but it should well be a good scenario. Let's just take a little pause and just look at the goals, and then we can reflect a little bit more, and we'll go back to how it all started in the second quarter. James Carson scored from a penalty corner.
Yep, simple corner, they moved it slightly to the right, and I think that's just put off Alan Forsyth, you know, and the runner and Tommy Alexander in goal. You can see Alan there's looking out for top, and has to take that sort of step. Slightly mixed up with it all. Good goal from the Welsh. And then now you've got the Scottish goal. So Willie Marshall flicks it low. It comes off a Welsh stick. The Welsh defender's going to be really unhappy with that. He should be making more of that. And it's followed up in the line with what we think was maybe Ben Cosgrove. So it initially looked maybe a bit more like Gavin Byers, but have a look here. Yeah, I think it's Gavin Byers, so maybe Gavin Byers should be credited with that goal, not Ben Cosgrove, but I'm bringing still teammates, they won't argue about it. Scotland scored. And then here, Alan Forsyth just picks the ball up in front of his man. As I said in commentary, you can't give him a chance to goal like that. The last 2 years he's been top scorer in English League. He's playing for a great run up front, scoring goals. His goal scoring rate for Scotland is ridiculous. You know, it's really impressive. And he takes these chances all the time, and I'll credit him.
So celebrations, well, the presentations come up shortly, we'll maybe talk a bit more, but just a quick word on Wales. I know they're probably a bit better than 32nd in the world, but it is an incredible story that they are heading to the top tier. Third tier, then maybe was their glass ceiling to step up, and they got back at the second tier, but they are heading into the top tier. It is incredible.
It's great to see them back here playing at that level, and you know, come away from this feeling aggrieved that they've not maybe won it. They are, I said earlier on, they're not a 32 ranked team in the world. They are far higher than that, and hopefully now from this tournament they'll gain a lot of points and they'll go back up to where they belong. And a shot in the A division for these guys, I mean, I can't remember the last time the Welsh were up in the A division. It might have been about 95 or something like that, even before that. They deserve it. They've played great hockey, they're a great bunch of players, and all credit to them. Zach Jones has got them well drilled, you know, and hopefully they as a nation of hockey players can kick on from here.
Okay, then we will take a little pause from here. Thanks, Graham, for the moment. We'll have a little break. There will be a presentation coming up in a few minutes' time, so do stick around and we'll bring you the presentation and the trophy for Scotland as they win the final by 2-1 against Wales.